Hi, my name is Ken. I live in Western Australia and I've been living here for a while. Um, Currently working away in the mining industry, doing the Five for Life. And in 2018, I came across Tsavo through introduction from a friend. It was word of mouth at the time. And um, she told me about this investment option where you could buy a unit off plan and they would manage it for you, given that I was living abroad. And the name of the company was Tsavo. And she introduced me to Emily, and who's the founder with her husband. And Emily's background is a chartered financial officer, and the husband's an architect. And when I was introduced to them, they shared with me their concept. That's when I became what they call a Tsavorite. And what attracted me to Tsavo was just their motto. At the time, it was FIRE, which are the initials for Financial Independence, Retire Early. And it's something that had always appealed to me. I was at that end where I was tired of doing shift work and I wanted to create some sort of passive income and build towards retiring early. As you all know, living and working abroad entails a lot of hours at work, and I've always had the plan to move back to Kenya and retire and not ever work a day in my life. And Tsavo was something very appealing to me in the sense that here was a truly tested thing, because my friend had already bought an apartment in their first project, and I could see, the quality of the finishes. I could also see how they manage the apartments, and as we speak, it's today I've got 2 apartments with them. I bought an apartment in 2018 with their second project, which was in Embakasi, called 90 Degrees. And it was a very smooth process from my experience. I deposited the money that was required to purchase the property. And Tsavo, the good thing with them, they also do in-house financing, because at the time I also had a mortgage that I was paying off here in Australia. So the issue of having to go to another lender wasn't a problem, in the sense that they could give me the loan through their in-house lending. I found that a very attractive option because I didn't have to sort of compromise my credit credibility sort of thing, in the sense that the property with Tsavo became my security. The other thing is, I loved how reliable and timely they were. So the Embakasi project took 2 years to deliver, and 2 years to the date, they actually delivered. And that actually gave me more psych to continue investing with them, which I did. So their next project that I ventured into with them was Skywalk, and that was also a very smooth process. And I started to bring friends along. My best friend from high school and I introduced him to the Skywalk project, which he did buy a 1-bedroom apartment. And today, as we speak, as I was sharing with Emily earlier, I've actually received my money for both apartments today in the bank. So monthly, they've been crediting my account. Rent's never late. I've always had a tenant, and they've actually managed the properties very well. Whenever I visit Kenya and I've been to the apartments, they are always in good nick. So in that sense, it's a stress-free investment, and it's very safe. So I'm gaining in both aspects, that the capital appreciation of the property, and also I continue to get a passive income from them. And anyone that's sort of looking into getting an investment, I would encourage you to get into Tsavo. They will walk the journey with you. Apart from just being an investor, I've also gained a lot of valuable insights into the world of investments. Emily has always been there, whether it's a phone call, more like a financial counselor really, and she's always there ready to answer questions on, there are times when I've picked her brain on alternative investments, and I feel like as a Tsavo, right, I've walked the journey with them, and they've walked the journey with me in guiding me everything investment. So one thing that I would add is the fact that Kenya's population is growing fast, and majority of that population is a young population. And as you all know, Kenya it's getting more and more expensive, especially in the city, Nairobi. And this Tsavo housing is a good alternative that targets, people that it's affordable living in that sense, so to speak. So you'll always have a tenant, and even with shifting demographics, you'll find there's always going to be occupancy, and so your returns are guaranteed in that sense. But yeah, so now that Tsavo are at our doorstep, it's time to join the party. I believe they're going to be at Choma Zone this weekend, starting Friday, Saturday, and I think there'll be also other venues going around, I think, which is to be advised. So if anything, make use of this opportunity. It's a good thing that they've actually brought Tsavo to your doorstep. And the beauty of these apartments is that they are affordable. I remember I paid just $30,000 for my apartment in Embakasi, and at the time, I was only paying $400 a month, which it's nothing. It's the money you spend on 2 weekends going out. So you think about it, if you could spare that $400 a month, and in 2 years you've got an apartment that is an investment for life. It's something that you can leave for your kids when you're not around anymore, or just something that your relatives back home could use as a source of income, and reduces your burden of what we call the black tax. So anyone that's still in doubt or hesitating, I'm an example of an investor that has actually walked that journey, and I can guarantee you that working with Tsavo in your investment journey is a worthwhile effort. So yeah, please get in touch with Martha or Emily, and they will furnish you with the details. Thanks.